When you look at what President Obama has done to protect America's lands and waters, there's no question that he's had a major impact, particularly in his second term. Republicans, particularly those in Congress, have been sharply critical of the president's approach. They argue that historically, this is something that has often happened through congressional action. They resent the fact that President Obama is acting unilaterally. Many Democrats counter that because of the gridlock in Washington, Congress has been unable to step in and protect some of these imperiled places, and that's why President Obama invoked his executive authority so many times. There's no precedent for one president unilaterally eliminating, overturning a national monument designation. What you have seen happen on very rare occasions is something like a president, Woodrow Wilson, did this to a monument that Teddy Roosevelt had created. He changed the acreage substantially at Mount Olympus. He cut it in half. Congress has far wider latitude, and so they could abolish a national monument altogether, and if President Trump is open to signing that into law, that protection would disappear altogether. What's a little unclear is that Donald Trump and his son, Donald Trump Jr., who's an avid hunter, have a slightly different view of public lands, as does Congressman Ryan Zinke, who is Trump's Interior Secretary. All three men have indicated in one way or another that they want the federal government to retain control of public land, although Congressman Ryan Zinke did vote for the rules package that would make it easier to sell off this land.
I want to keep the lands, great, and you don't know what the state's going to do with them. Are they going to sell as soon as they get into a little bit of a trouble? And I don't think it's something that should be sold. We have to be great stewards of this land.
When you look at what President Obama has done over his 8 years in office, he has used the Antiquities Act and public lands to redefine what American history is and what is the American identity. So what you've seen is him recognizes places that are important to Native American tribes, to LGBT Americans, to women. In all these ways, he's trying to say that the places that we recognize as special in the United States, whether for environmental reasons or for historic reasons, help tell the American story. What I think will be interesting to see with President Trump is how does he define the American story? Does he use this power, which really is quite broad, to single out part of the groups of the United States that he feels haven't been lifted up in recent years, or does he take a different tack? That'll be one of the real things to watch.